Thinking about hiring a car for your Disney World trip? For international visitors, this can feel confusing, overwhelming, and expensive unless you know the tricks. So in this video, I'm going to be letting you know absolutely everything you need to know about hiring a car in Orlando, from avoiding hidden fees and how to save up to 80% on toll roads. Every single time I visit Orlando, I hire a car. So over the years, I have learned lots of tips and tricks to help me save money and just have the best experience possible. So I'm going to share them with you today. First things first, let's talk about where to book your hire car. Now, of course, there are tons and tons of different car rental companies and also lots of different places where you can book them. I personally like to use websites where they compare car hire across all the different rental companies. I really like Florida Discount Car Hire and Florida Car Hire for Less. These are two really fantastic companies that come up with the best prices, and you could choose exactly who you want to book with. My personal favourite is Alamo. I've always had really good experiences with them. They aren't super pushy at the desk when you arrive, and what I really enjoy is they will tell you which lane to collect your car from, and then you can select any car you like, which is so helpful. I've also hired with Hertz before, and overall it has been a good experience. However, you don't get to select your car yourself. They select a car for you, and when I first arrived we had a little bit of problems with this and I did have to switch to other cars, and it was fine after that, but I do prefer Alamo for that flexibility and being able to select the car that is right for you. When booking, be sure to also factor in top-up insurances and sat-nav. Now, one thing I would highly recommend is never getting these through the car hire company themselves, because they charge extortionate rates. Most car hire policies will come with some form of insurance included, but you might want to get top-up insurance for things like tyres or windscreens. Now, what you can do is if you search on the internet, you can find cheap companies that offer this, so that it's much more affordable to do it this way than through the car hire company themselves. If you were to book your car hire through a company such as Discount Florida Car Hire, you can actually add on the top-up insurances via that website, so you don't even have to look anywhere else. You could do it all on one site. And places like Florida Discount Car Hire also have the option for you to add on sat-nav rental. Now, I'm in the UK, and what is fantastic is they will actually send the sat-nav to your home address, and you can just take it with you and send it back to them when you get home. And it's very affordable to do it this way, so that is a really good option. But the great news is most modern cars will have things such as Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, so you can use that instead of hiring a traditional sat-nav. This is another reason that I like to be able to select my own car, because then you can go for newer models that will have these features that you can use. So that's another tick for Alamo. One of the most important things is to read your rental agreement properly, just so you know exactly what is expected for you. Now, a lot of these rental companies will have it so that you return the car full. There is the option of paying for your fuel in advance, but that is a very expensive way to do it, so I never ever do this. I just agree to that I will be the one to fill up the car and return it full. And I have a top tip when it comes to refueling your car. Now, if you are going to be returning it full to the rental company, then avoid going to airport fuel stations, because they charge double the amount, which is unbelievable. However, if you come off one exit before the airport, you can get fuel at a regular price. My last trip, I was there for 2 weeks. I drove every single day, and a full tank cost me just $30. So fuel is much cheaper in the US, which is fantastic news. And this was the best way to get it back to the hire company full without breaking the bank. In my rental agreement, I did have to keep my receipt from the gas station to show that I had topped up gas within 10 miles of the airport. So again, do read that rental agreement properly so you know the exact terms and conditions you are signing up for. Pro tip, when you first collect your car, be sure to take photographs and videos of it to show the state that the car is in when you collected it, and when you drop it off, do the exact same thing. This way, if there is any dispute over damages, you can prove the condition that you returned the car in. Another thing to note is that with Florida, you will not need an international driving license. Some US states will require this, however, Orlando is not one of them. Do check what your car hire company need as evidence and proof. Typically it will be your driving license and a credit card, but each rental company will be different, so do check that out to make sure you've got everything on you that you need. And whilst we're talking about gas stations, it's worth noting that Disney World has 3 Speedway gas stations on site. One near Magic Kingdom, one near Disney Springs, and one near their fire station. Something that I will get every single time I hire a car in Orlando is the Visitor's Toll Pass. This is a little card that you hang up in your mirror and it allows you to go through the tolls in Orlando and save up to 80% of the price. It's super simple to use. You just download the app in advance, let it know your details, and then you can collect it at the airport right next to the car rental companies. Follow the steps it gives you once you collect your pass from the booth, then hang it in your car and you are ready to go. When you return to the airport, there is a little box that you can post your pass in, so it's super simple and you don't have to go out of your way to drop it off. If you are going to be hiring a car, one of the big things you need to factor in is parking. Now, if you are staying at a Disney World resort, you get free parking at your hotel and in the parks, which saves you so much money. If you are staying off-site, to park at a Disney park is $30 a day, and at Universal it's $36 a day. So these costs quickly add up. Off-site hotels might also charge for hotel parking, so do be sure to factor in these costs if you are hiring a car. I always stay on site at Disney World, and a lot of people think it's crazy that I hire a car because they're like, if you get free Disney transport, why do you need it? But I love being on my own schedule. I love being able to get absolutely anywhere on site within 15 minutes. Plus, it means I can visit other places in Orlando super easily. And the fact that the parking is free at my hotel and the parks is a massive benefit, and it means that it's so worthwhile getting a car. And finally, before you head out to Florida, do check out the local driving laws. If you are an international visitor, the rules of the road are going to be different, so always look this up before you go. Things like being able to turn right at a red traffic light were really foreign to me the first time I visited, so do have a little look before you go, just so you know exactly what you can and can't do. Before I hired a car in Orlando for the first time, I'd never driven an automatic car, and I got in expecting that I would put a key into the ignition and turn it like I did at home. However, not all cars are like this in the US. Some of them you might need to put your foot on the brake and then press the button to turn the car on. So do check these things out when you first arrive and find a car that is comfortable for you to use. Again, this is kind of why I like Alamo, because I can go along, see which cars are the newest models, which cars I would feel comfortable driving, which cars I know how to turn on. That's one of the big things. So that's why I really like being able to pick my own car. And that's why it's a downside with other companies when you don't quite get to do that. Hiring a car in Orlando can give you so much freedom and flexibility. Being able to go wherever you want, whenever you want, is the best way to experience Orlando. So I hope these tips will help you get the right car hire for you and help you have a seamless experience whilst you are out in Florida. If you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe so you can get even more tips of how to get the most out of your trips to Disney World and Orlando. And if you need help planning your trips, do head to my website where I have Disney World trip planning services. I can book your Disney World dining for you. We do online calls to help you get tips and advice tailored specifically to what you need. And I even have a concierge service where I'll plan your entire trip out for you. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I hope you have a most magical day. Bye bye.